6, a helping hand with your land.
Neil from Essex here. Today's 3-Minute Thursday. This little YouTube thing has gotten us a lot of attention from other equipment dealers and drawn a lot of interest into this platform and some participation from a lot of others. I'm going to take a couple minutes here today for this 3-Minute Thursday and maybe give you a little bit of advice if you're an equipment dealer of how YouTube may fit into your organization. So I was recently asked to speak for a group of dealers about YouTube and the different ways that it has worked into our organization and our marketing efforts. And having to sit down and actually go through that process and put together some hints and tips and that kind of thing was an interesting process. It definitely came up with some stuff that I think was worth sharing. I'm very aware many of the people that watch this channel are other equipment dealers, other equipment salespeople who are maybe learning from a little bit of what we're doing as we go along, but also kind of picking up on some of those hints and tips and ways that they might want to incorporate what we're doing into their dealership. One thing I always give a lot of caution to when we first start talking about this is that mimicking the way that you see us using YouTube may not necessarily be the best way to success. We've been doing this for quite a long time. You'll see I have videos on YouTube going back for almost 10 years, and we post on a fairly frequent basis, which has caused us to start to build an audience. So you'll see now that we're starting to crest over 35,000 subscribers, which is why we start to see a lot of those views. But if you're a dealer who's first starting to get into this, it's pretty difficult to justify the time and the effort that it takes to put together a good YouTube video and kind of start to generate that traffic that it takes to justify the efforts that you're putting into this thing. So a lot of guys that I've seen out there will come out, they'll put together 6 or 8 videos and they don't go anywhere, they don't gain that traction. And that's because this is really something that you have to give a long-term commitment to build that audience. So mimicking what we do, I don't think is really necessarily going to be a good fit for a lot of people that don't take a long-term look to making an investment in this platform. And I'll say too, this isn't something that I do just because we think it's a good business fit. This is something we honestly enjoy doing. I like the video thing. I enjoy the technology, the publishing, the editing, and I've got a great guy helping me too that helps put this kind of stuff together that really makes this a great relationship that works for us, that isn't necessarily going to slide right into everybody's organization. That doesn't mean though that I don't think internet video is something that's a really worthy pursuit for virtually every dealership. And one of the ways that I absolutely think that we should all be using this platform is in really 2 different areas. One is telling the story of who we are. Our industry, agriculture, construction, the equipment that we sell, I think is really underappreciated by the general public. The complexity of the equipment that we sell, the technology that's in it, the precision farming stuff that's out there. There's a lot of really cool stuff that happens in this industry. And when people are looking at employment opportunities out there, I think for somebody who can turn wrenches, we're not necessarily the first place that they think to go. And frankly, I think they should be. There's a lot of really awesome stuff happening in this industry, a lot of awesome employment opportunities. And internet video, I think, is one of those ways that we can really tell that story. So being able to show off things like the battle axe and some of the cool stuff that goes through our dealerships can be really cool. And one of the ways that you can do that is by featuring those cool products, featuring those customers that you might have that are doing cool things, using those social platforms like YouTube and Facebook in order to show those things, but more in terms of a customer application. You're like, what guys are doing with unique equipment that's out there. Another thing that's really worked well for us in telling that story is employment videos or things that explain the history of your dealership, who you are, what you do, the employment opportunities that you have. Again, hiring those people and attracting them to your dealership can be a really challenging thing. And so using internet video lets you go and take what would just be a job posting online and augment it in a way that helps tell the story of who your organization is and attract people on a whole different level. You'll see a video that we did a couple months months ago referring to that, and it actually worked out really well for us. It's gotten a lot of traction, and people are seeing that as they're starting to put in job applications to come and work for us. So absolutely great opportunities to use internet video to tell the story of who we are, tell the story of your dealership, but I'll give a little bit of caution if you just think you're going to do your own 3-Minute Thursday or do some product walkarounds. It's a long-term commitment to kind of reach the point that we have with it. So good luck to you guys that are out there. I think building the content base is what's out there is good for all of us. So if you're in the market for a piece of equipment, you have parts or service needs that we can help with, give us a call at Messick's. We're available at 800-222-3373 or online at messick's.com.